told you we should start recording when we ate the McDonald's.
No.
People would have wanted to listen to us eat McDonald's and discuss McDonald's.
I mean, we can discuss McDonald's, just not while we're eating McDonald's.
Why? Eating. What's your eck?
Fuck you. my ick, as I like to say.
Eck man.
My ick.
I've got an eck man.
Don't speak like that.
I can't even believe it, but the eck that I've got is this. When somebody does this, it gives me the eck.
Let me tell you what my ick is.
Let me tell you what my ick is.
I'll tell you what my ick is. It's when you... Oh, well, I left my juice over there.
Oh, unlucky.
More over here. My ick is when you criticise the way I speak or the way I explain things, either in a group chat or in person.
Yeah, well, you say things wrong all the time. Remember when we were out 3 weeks ago and then that little grey bird flew over us and you were like, oh, look, a piggy on. And I was like, I'm fucking sorry. And you're like, a piggy on.
That's what it's called. It's a piggy on.
They're fuck up.
Since I was as a piggy on.
You said it like it's a fucking Pokemon.
It's a seagull and a piggy on. This is how
one
it's
seagull,
pronounced.
one piggy on. Pigeon.
Look, mama, a piggy on.
Where's my piggy on? Anyway, you say animals wrong all the time and it pisses me off.
What other animals am I saying wrong?
Tigger. And that one, you've said that out loud in pubs before and we've had looks.
I have never said Tigger. I've said Tiger.
It's bad either way.
Tiger.
Tiger. You say
I like
Tiger?
it when there was that one time we went to the zoo and we saw the Tiger, the elephant, the Gurf.
Zeb Zebs. Zeb Zebs piss me off. Beyond belief. Zeb Zeb. Is a Zeb Zeb black or white?
What about the... Wait, what?
Is a Zeb Zeb black or white?
It's blue and yellow.
Wait, what the fuck are you calling a Zeb Zeb?
Wait, are we talking about the same animal?
So
It's got like it's got the wings and it hits its head against trees really hard. Is that not a Zeb Zeb?
No, that's a woodpecker, mate.
Oh, a woodpecker.
Woodpacker.
It's a woodpacker. Mate, that guy just loves to pack wood.
Just loves packing wood, just jamming it on in there. Yeah. So anyway, piggy on, you're an idiot. That's why I slag you off.
Groove.
What's your actual eck?
My actual ick is people who mispronounce things.
It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. So won't you lend an ear?
Why are you constantly out of breath? Is it because of all the McDonald's?
It's because I've got the possessor in me. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this episode of the Meandering Movie Podcast, where we talk about movies. Mostly. Sometimes we talk about other things.
Theme park rides and McDonald's and animals.
But it's always, we tie it in the movies.
Somehow it comes back. What's your favourite McDonald's product placement in a movie?
I genuinely liked the Batman bike Happy Meal toys that they did in the 90s.
I mean, yeah, let's be honest. McDonald's in the 90s, Happy Meal toy-wise, were on another fucking
Did you have
level.
the Batman bike set? I didn't even have a bike, and I was like, Mum, we need to go to McDonald's to get all the Batman bike stuff. There was a water bottle holder in the Joker's face. There was a little wing mirror with the bat symbol on the back. What else was there? There was a bunch. I can't remember. There was a bunch of fucking mad shit though, but it was all just bike accessories.
Why was that the thing they thought? I guess, kids eat McDonald's, we don't want to keep
Kids
them
eat
healthy.
McDonald's. Kids love bikes. Kids love Batman.
Also, it's
the holy
healthy.
trinity.
It's healthy for them to go out on their bike.
I don't think they gave a fuck about that.
No, they're
It might
probably...
be because Batman had a bike. Which film had the Batman bike in it?
Well, no, that would have been the Batman and Robin, but Robin had the bike, not Batman. Because Batman had the Batmobile.
The Joker bottle holder was a thing of fucking beauty.
What do you mean a bottle holder?
Right,
You mean a bottle opener?
Batman.
Why are they giving
bike.
kids bottle openers for
No,
McDonald's?
like bottle holder. McDonald's Batman bike accessories. Oh no, sorry. It was a Joker like squeaker, so that you could, like, instead of a bell. And it was Batman and Robin.
Where did you get bottle holder from?
I thought one of them was a bottle holder.
I don't think we do bottle holders in the UK. That's more like an American thing.
One of the
they're too weak to hold a cold
accessories
bottle.
was one of the accessories was the Batmobile, but that was a water bottle.
It's very weird.
It was a weird collab. Like,
I kind of like that idea of like what is that meeting like? Like, right, so what things from the Batman movie can we make into random items that a kid might want? It's like
bike stuff.
Jonathan, what have you got? What about if we make the Batmobile a water bottle? Love it, great, ship it, done.
What
Do
about?
you not want to hear my idea?
We need a bell. All right. What about like a squeaker? The Joker. Perfect.
Done. He
Done.
likes to squeak.
Lock it in. What about a little mirror with a little teeny tiny Batman on top of it? Done.
But sir, the Joker isn't in Batman and Robin. Did I ask?
Sorry, Batman and Robin, the TV show, the animated series. I fucked that up. I apologize.
So that's not a movie. So this entire thing's been a waste. So I'll have to cut.
We're going to talk about Ghostbusters as well. We're going to talk about Ghostbusters today. Ignore McDonald's, ignore Batman.
I give you the lead to take the lead of the
I
episode.
took the lead.
And we're talking about McDonald's Batman toys.
Yeah. Don't give me the lead then, fuckface.
What's actually happening in this episode is we're going to fix the Ghostbusters franchise. Because this year, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire came out. And it was dog shit awful. So...
Interesting.
You think differently?
Do you want to start there or do you want to work our way up to it?
Well, that's a good point. We've not discussed the movie. You only watched it like a day or 2 days
Literally
ago.
2 days ago.
2 days ago. I saw it in the cinema, did a review, which is on TikTok and Instagram, the Meandering Movie Podcast. Follow us over there and check out the reviews that we do. That's a plug.
It is a little plug. I like it.
But yeah, we've not discussed our actual opinions on the movie, but I guess I just spoiled mine by saying I thought it was dog shit awful. What did you think of Ghostbusters Frozen
Would you
Empire?
want to start? Should you start with Ghostbusters 1 and work our way up? What do you want to do, Gav? I'll tell you my thoughts happily.
I'd say give me your thoughts on Frozen Empire and then we'll work back from that.
I watched Frozen Empire, literally a couple of days ago. I settled in and I put it on my TV and I was ready to, I lowered my expectations to a point where I was like, I can't be disappointed. Surely there's no, surely my expectations are at absolute rock bottom.
They can't go any lower than this.
Surely things can't get worse for the Ghostbusters.
Frozen Empire
Frozen,
in 2024.
And then for the first 30 minutes, I was actually excited.
Okay.
I genuinely was like, okay, this is kind of going places. I don't mind it. It starts off with the chase sequence where they're chasing that giant blue sewer dragon. Terrible ghost, but like I liked the.
You're like,
it's such a bad ghost. Let's get into the ghost later on. It's a terrible ghost, but like I liked the Spengler family. I like the fact it's kind of the Spenglers, and you've got the goofy older brother who's the comic relief. You've got, maybe one slight gripe is that you've also got Paul Rudd doing comic relief, and you've got the mum doing comic relief, and then you've got McKenna Grace, who I fucking love. I think she's a great actress, being the kind of serious,
terrible character at this point.
Being the serious Spengler. Like Egon's progeny, but I liked it, and the seat pops out, and they get it all, and blah 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 blah. Whatever. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Then they fuck everything up, and the first moment where my heart went, oh fuck off, was when they meet the mayor, and it's William Peck from Ghostbusters 2.
Do you remember him from the first Ghostbusters movie?
Little batch of member berries, and I gave it the benefit of the doubt, and I was like, you know what? Maybe it's just like, I've seen the trailers. I know that the rest of the Ghostbusters turn up, but maybe they're just going to keep it as like loose rolling cameos and kind of just like blah, 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 blah. But no, he's the exact same character. And once you kind of get into it, and he's like, oh, I'm going to shut you Ghostbusters down. And it's like, oh, so you're still doing the same shtick 30 years later. Now, that's fine, right? Cool. You hate the Ghostbusters. Fair enough. Maybe you're a bit of a like smug prick and from before you're upset, like it's the bad blood. But the whole world knows about ghosts at this point because the Ghostbusters aren't like they were in Ghostbusters 2. Blow up the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, then have a lull because that's apparently put a plug on all ghostly activity for years, so people think it might have been a hoax. Mm-hmm. Within the Ghostbusters universe, there has been 30 years of ghost busting.
Busting makes me feel good.
And it's been making people feel good. It's been making them feel good, right? It has. All the time. So 30 years of no fucking two shits about it. The news are reporting it, and they're not reporting it like the Ghostbusters with another hoax have destroyed half of. They're like, there was a ghost in Lower Manhattan.
You saw it, people.
We all saw it. The Ghostbusters did come in. They did catch the ghost, but there's property damage. Who's paying for that, right? So Everyone fucking knows. And then this dickhead who hates the Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters 2 is like, I'm going to shut you down. It's like, if you did, sir, if you do shut us down, what the fuck do you think is going to happen?
It's
such a bad, like, I understand they're like, oh, we can't, we need him to be the villain. We need this, and he's the villain from Ghostbusters 2, so we can't change him. But it doesn't fucking make sense in this film.
Not only does it not make sense, but here's a better idea. How about they try, and this might blow Sony's mind and the makers of Ghostbusters, why not try character growth and character development? So instead of just being like, hey, remember that guy from the first movie and he acted that way? What about if he just acted the exact same way all these years later? Don't you love that? No, here's what I would love. This time, he's on their side and he's trying to help them, but there's someone else pushing back against him, and he has to work on their side.
A new villain.
And they kind of come together.
So,
wouldn't that be more interesting than just, hey, I'm just doing the same thing?
Remember him? He's back. So that fucked me off, and I thought, right, okay, we'll move on. And for a 2-hour film, I'll give it its credit. It's pretty nippy. Like, it's 2 hours, but it didn't feel like 2 hours by the end of it. However, an hour and a half of it is exposition, and then it is 20 minutes of action at the end. But you kind of move on from that section, and you get more exposition. You learn about the new ghost. You learn about the new orb, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm digging this. This is all fine.
You've got Winston's got like a Ghostbuster like museum.
Ghostbuster like
thing,
super
research
fucking science
place.
research lab. Like, and I actually did like this element. I like the element that they're clearly going for, which is kind of like the Ghostbusters is a living, breathing universe, and shit has been going on for 30 years. But it also, by the end of this film, made me go, I wish I'd seen all of the other stuff, because this being the thing that you focused on is actually the fucking so boring. Anyway, you find out about Gabarabosh, whatever his Gavalong, it's some terrible name.
He's
the new Gozer. He's not just a ghost, he is a god ghost, and he got trapped in a brass ball. Oh, and sorry, I didn't say this. The intro, the very intro to the film with the old-timey fire effect, that was fucking brilliant.
Great.
Such a good set, right? Sorry, I should have said that at the beginning. Anyway, we find out about Gabagoosh.
Gabagoosh.
Dan Aykroyd gets reintroduced. Zeddemore gets reintroduced. Bill Murray is used so sparingly that I don't understand why he's even fucking there.
You know he doesn't care.
He doesn't give a
there
fuck.
For
He's
the
turning
money.
up for the paycheck.
He's never cared. He didn't even want to...
His little bit at the end when he does turn up and he's like, hey, and you've got the receptionist whose name I can't remember.
Yeah.
Munitz in the film.
Milner. Munitz. Yeah.
Munitz in the film.
Munitz in uniform.
Like, she's there and she's also now a Ghostbuster, I guess. Whatever. But you find out about this fucking super ghost, and its horns got ripped off and all this other shit. Oh, and this is sorry. It's all starting.
It's all just seething
off.
back
It's all seething into me. It's all starting to fuck me off. So you find out about the big bad, big fucking super ghost with the horns and yada 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 yada. You also find out about the secret society of the Flame Masters. Zeddemore's got his research lab where one of the characters from the first movie, Lucky, has apparently been working over the summer.
The girl that had like a relationship
Love
with
interest,
Finn
right?
Wolfhard.
Who I just assumed had been written out. I thought, oh, they didn't get her back in. No, she's there.
For no reason.
No, she's working
She
with
is
Wizard
there. Because there wasn't enough characters.
I was just about to get to this. Podcast turns back up. A ghost girl turns up, and she's got a vaguely sapphic love interest with McKenna Grace.
James Acaster is there.
James fucking Acaster turns up, who then mysteriously just vanishes for the
end of the movie.
third act.
Yeah.
Completely. Anyway, you are now looking at, and again, fucked me off. Ghostbusters 1. 4 Ghostbusters, Sigourney Weaver, Rick Moranis, and Munitz, who's an actor name I can't remember, and I apologize for that.
Dick Hole, guy trying to shut them down.
That's Ghostbusters 2. He's not even in Ghostbusters 1.
You sure?
Yeah, dude, Ghostbusters 1, it's literally... He's the EPA from Ghostbusters 2, I'm sure. Maybe I'm wrong
He's
here.
definitely in Ghostbusters 1.
Is he?
Yeah, he's definitely in Ghostbusters 1.
Okay, then I apologize, I'm wrong. 8, you're looking at 8 tops. Ghostbusters Afterlife, you are looking at Paul Rudd's wife. I'm so sorry. I need to learn these people's names. You got McKenna Grace.
The actress is Carrie Coon, who plays the wife.
You got McKenna Grace. You got Finn Wolfhard. Right. So 4 Ghostbusters. Fine.
But
then you've got Lucky. You've got Podcast. You've got Ghost Love Interest. You have got the evil ghost. You have got all four of you got three of the original Ghostbusters. You have got James Acaster, and it's like you get to the finale with 12 characters.
Yeah, 12 characters.
What?
And all of them are crammed inside the firehouse.
All of them, and they're all crammed inside the firehouse, and also completely ineffective. They do nothing.
Yeah, there's a point where
Sorry, wait, we're getting. There's one final. Let me just finish my little recap of why I'm getting fucked up. Sorry,
your ranty recap.
I'm getting annoyed, but you find out about the ghost. Oh, and fucking. Then you've got Kumail Nanjiani turns up as fucking the flame master. Like again, just another random fucking thread in this whole.
He shows up as Johnny Storm from fucking Fantastic Four.
But it's just another thread of a story that I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Don't forget Patton Oswalt's also in there. He's like Patton Oswalt also appears.
Oh, and Patton Oswalt.
He shows up as well to do exposition.
So all of this shit, you eventually get to the kind of the beginning of the third act. The ghost girl love interest betrays McKenna Grace. Fucking what a surprise! Who didn't see that one coming?
The way that she betrays her is the dumbest thing perhaps in any of these movies.
Yeah, like I need to remove my ghost spirit so that I can touch you for 10 seconds.
Yes, I want to kiss you, so I'm going to take my ghostly soul out of my body so I can kiss you.
Yeah, McKenna Grace is real fucking loose with her like earthly soul.
It's just like, I fuck it, pat that out. I mean,
and it's because she's like, oh, I'm depressed, and you know what? I don't even give a fuck about my life anymore. Wait, what? So I burned to death in a diner fire, right? I literally burned to death. It's hell. And you want to be a ghost? Why? Well, they won't let me be a Ghostbuster for 3 years.
So I want.
I'm sorry. You're choosing death.
I want to leave this mortal coil so I can give a wee peck, and because I don't get to do the job that I want.
It's like, but not because I can't do the job that I want, because they won't let me do it for 3 years.
Yeah, it's like,
no one has said, look, you can never be a Ghostbuster. They have only said you can't do it until you're 18. Mental.
Like, we'll get into it, but when you take her character in Afterlife, there's a great character there with a great motivation. You're like, this is a great new character to lead this franchise. And then you pivot to this one, and it's just like, they just boil her down to because there's so much happening, they boil her down to her base elements and just make her into an idiot.
Yeah.
And
so
like,
stupid. Considering she's meant to be like the smartest member of the gang.
Yeah, and her great plan is to, for this situation, I'm going to remove myself from my body so I can hang out with you. And then that causes the big bad guy to be able to return because he needs a human to do an incantation. And it's just like...
Has to be a human voice doing the incantation.
It's like the complexities that they unfold for the plot to happen. You're just like, why is there so much like...
There's an extra wrinkle in the bad guy's like whole shtick, which is like... Then when the Flame Masters brought down Gargabrong and they ripped off his horns, which were his power. Now, prior to this, you saw the horns in the special secret back room of
Kumail Nanjiani's mum's room. And
like that whole bit about Kumail Nanjiani's mum's back room, her doddy in the sex dungeon. Funny. I liked all that.
Sure,
it's kind of funny little gags. Felt very Ghostbusters. I was into it. But you find out that the horns are there. Anyway, once the ghost comes back... You're like, all right, but he's not at full power. He doesn't have his horns. How are they going to resolve this? Just walks into the room, grabs the horns, puts them on his head. That's it. Why set up the, like, we took his horns off to remove his power for the big evil ghost to just be like, well, I guess I'll just go get him. That was no problem.
It could have been an interesting thing of just like Kumail Nanjiani's character's there and attempts to stop him, but his firepower still aren't strong enough yet. And so even the half-powered demon can, like, whip him aside.
Yeah.
And so then later on when he has his horns, Kumail Nanjiani tries again when he's even stronger, but there is a motivation to make him overcome his lack of experience to then defeat the strong... character development.
It also would have made sense to have the half-powered demon almost get captured by the old... Because they upgrade the proton packs at the end of the film as well. Or they upgraded one
of them.
Pack. But like,
but just in a random kitchen, they're just like throw some. Well, not in a random kitchen, but like they're just like got some copper. Boom, that's that done. Anyway, ready to shoot now.
Brass, actually, not
brass.
copper.
Sorry,
but yeah, but like it would have. There's all this stuff that's set up that would make sense to have. Oh, we've got him. Don't worry, guys. We're the Ghostbusters. Oh shit, he managed to beat our proton packs. Why is that? He shouldn't have been that powerful. It seems that even when he's half-powered, he's still stronger than us. We're going to need the Flame Master. We're going to have to do something with the proton packs. What are we doing? setting up your end game much fucking more
that also gives you the
satisfyingly.
opportunity of, instead of having 12 characters in one location to have a fight, you get to do the old characters, your Aykroyds and your Murrays, with Kumail Nanjiani. They get to have their fight. They fail, and then we have to rely on the new Ghostbusters.
And the Flame Master, because then Camille does
Because then
come in.
the Flame Master can come back, and you've got your new team with Flame Master, new Ghostbusters, with upgraded proton packs, working together to defeat the thing that the old ones couldn't, and that helps, again, character development.
Yeah,
but instead, it's just like, let's cram them all together and have none of them do anything.
Yeah, because the final third act big finale, they all get incapacitated instantly.
Yeah.
Because they have set this fucking super demon ghost up as the god of all demon ghosts. So obviously it needs to be super powered. I get that, right? But they're instantly incapacitated. James Acaster just vanishes for the fucking final act. And then McKenna Grace and Camille get to fucking work together to take down the... Camille gets his like one final little one-liner. I like that one moment where he's like, well, I gave you a choice, and then the light doesn't work. And that's, again,
Yeah.
I liked it's a bit too heavy on the quips, but I liked that that's his character. You know what I mean?
The problem...
Sorry, Gav. What's annoying about it is they introduced Kumail Nanjiani's character. Well, I don't know why I'm full naming him every time. Kumail's character to be like, oh, he's the quippy, he doesn't really understand, but he's full of quips. Cool, right? Now have that one, because you also have podcasts doing that. You also have Bill Murray doing that. You also have Paul Rudd doing that. Like, fuck off. Why is everybody fucking quipping? Why is J.J. Abrams done this to script writing? Why is this now the norm that every single person has to be like popping off a funny little one-liner?
I wouldn't blame J.J. Abrams. I blame the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
No, it's J.J. Abrams.
How?
Buffy back in the day. It all started with Buffy.
Well,
who wrote Buffy?
That was Joss Whedon.
Joss Whedon, sorry. That's who I meant.
Oh,
not J.J. Abrams. I meant Joss Whedon. The other white fucking dickhead that writes sci-fi nerd shit.
So I guess
Whedon.
if you go back to Joss Whedon with like Firefly and Buffy, there's that, and then that evolves into Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, and then Iron Man evolves into the whole of the MCU,
Yep.
and then the whole of the MCU evolves into every movie you now see. Like I saw that movie, The Fall Guy, and it's just, how long can we quip and improv? Like, and then you look at the Ghostbusters, and it's just like, who are any of you, and what are your roles?
They're all so homogenous. Every one of them is all like the entire Spenglers. So Paul Rudd, Carrie Coon, McKenna Grace, and Finn Wolfhard are all comic relief, but smart comic relief. Then you've got Camille, who is comic relief, magic power. Also, the fact that magic now exists in the Ghostbusters universe, an unnecessary wrinkle, because me as the viewer, anytime there's a new threat in New York, I would be like, right, so I can rely on the Ghostbusters, or there'll be some magic answer now.
Yeah, because instead of the Ghostbusters, you're like, let's just get the Airbenders in from the Airbender universe, because he's just a firebender.
Because he's just a firebender. He can just do fucking magic.
I'm not using a slur there, by the way. I'm using the last Airbender term for firebenders, just in case.
So yeah, I got to the end of it. Oh, and sorry, the final bit of all this is that Slimer is back. Finn Wolfhard has not a B plot, not a C plot, not even a D plot, maybe an F plot of trying to like catch Slimer, who now lives in the roof, the attic, and is eating shit. Fails 3 times throughout the course of the movie, and then Slimer eats a different ghost that was working for the main big bad ghost, and that's it.
And Finn Wolfhard's like, hey, I know that guy.
I know that guy.
That's
it. That's the whole plot. That's Finn Wolfhard's whole fucking character arc in the film. Tries to catch Slimer, fails. Slimer eats a different ghost. Finn Wolfhard goes, I know that ghost. We all know that ghost, Finn Wolfhard, because it's Slimer. It's Slimer, and Slimer has never done shit, and weirdly became the fucking like
mascot
of the Ghostbusters in the 90s.
Over the marshmallow ghost. Like,
why the fuck are the marshmallow ghosts gremlins? I didn't like it in the first film. I accepted it in the first film because I thought it was going to be a throwaway one-off gag.
You mean Afterlife?
Sorry, I mean the first film of the reboots.
Okay,
Sorry, that's my bad vernacular there.
Just what I'd save you before anyone.
But I'm like, why? Why are they just gremlins now? Why are they just self-immolating little fucking maniacs?
Because toys and merchandising. I mean, I think the biggest problem when it comes to this franchise is Sony owns it, and Sony doesn't know how to fucking do anything. But the other big problem...
Wild. It's wild that Sony are releasing film after film after film after film, and all of them are like...
Not just Ghostbusters, like anything.
Anything. No, I'm not just meaning. Yeah, I mean all Sony films at the moment, other than their animation studio, which is fucking the flip side of this coin. But everything Sony's doing that is trying to be like a franchised deal is just so unbelievably mid. The most mid it can possibly mid.
Like at some point this year, Kraven the Hunter's going to come out, and once that's out, we're going to do like a deep dive breakdown of the Sony. Like Spider-Man villain solo
the
movies.
SSU, Sony Spider-Man universe.
Yes, because those Man Webs and those Venoms and the Kraven and the Morbid, like, and then you look at Ghostbusters, and it's this case of with Frozen Empire, they put so many ideas and so many different things into a 2-hour movie that feels like that it should have been for like a mini series.
Yeah,
it should have been a 6-part mini series. I don't want it to be, but that's what it felt like it was. Because when we get to the summary of how to fix the Ghostbusters, my first one's going to be fucking don't do Ghostbusters anymore. But it's like with Frozen Empire, Finn Wolfhard is a perfect example of what is wrong with that movie. Even though neither of us like Finn Wolfhard, and I think as an actor he's not that great, and as a person he seems like he's a bit of an asshole. His character in Afterlife, there was purpose. There was reason for him to be there. He was part of the family, and him coming in, even though he's so like, oh, this ghost thing is stupid. But then he comes in at the end and he works with the family, and it's a whole thing. In this one, they're like, fuck, what do we do with his character? Because we've got Camille's fire starter man, and then we've got the old ones. Which
we're going to give their screen time.
We've also got James Acaster. We've also got the girl that was flirty with Finn Wolfhard. And then we've got all the new Ghostbusters. So fuck, what do we do with Finn? Just stick him upstairs with Slimer. Any other? Are we going to do anything else? Nah, that'll do. He can come in for 2 weeks.
Let him get slimed a bit. I think you've actually nailed it perfectly. I kind of hadn't crossed my mind properly until right now. Sorry, I'm talking away from the mic there. The original Ghostbusters, you had let's say 5, including Sigourney Weaver, right? The main core Ghostbusters, but they each had a reason for being there. All of them are scientists, but you had Bill Murray's kind of like cheeky comic relief. Obviously, it's a comedy film, but he's like the real comic relief one, and he's sarcastic and sardonic.
He's almost like the con man of like
the con man, right?
He's the one going around like, I'll be like 250 quid for that.
You've got Egon, who is the like smart one, who is again still funny, but like smart and kind of reserved and
building the technology.
Dan Aykroyd, who is also very, very clever, but is like the wild, wonder-eyed, like, oh my god, holy shit,
believes in it all,
like not just wants to make money, isn't just in it for the science, but is like, holy shit, ghosts are incredible. They set that up in Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire as well,
Dan
Aykroyd dying, which never played out.
No,
when him and McKenna Grace have the big conversation, like,
he becomes like a primary character in the movie for a while, and I'm like, okay.
So, and then you've got Winston Zeddemore, who is the everyman. He's just there for the paycheck. Doesn't give a shit. He's us in the film, right? And then you've got Sigourney Weaver, who is the love interest, granted, but is also like, I don't believe in any of this shit, but is forced to believe in this stuff because it's directly affecting
built into
her.
that world.
Cool. Then you've got Annie Potts and Rick. Annie Potts is her name, and Rick Moranis, side characters, comic relief. Cool, right? There's your main core and your villain, Willem Peck.
Everyone has their purpose. Everyone's clearly defined.
The new Ghostbusters, you have, like I've already said, Quippin Paul Rudd, Quippin Acaster, Quippin Wolfhard.
Quippin Acaster, a new name for it.
Quippin Acaster. Quippin, and like, of all the characters that should be popping off more quips, it's Acaster, the fucking bona fide comedian of the roster. You've got Camille Quippin. You've got McKenna Grace isn't Quippin, thankfully, but she's such a boring one-note character that it's hard to give a fuck about anything she does.
She gets steered off into trying to advance the plot, which then takes away from her character, and it makes her character less interesting and looks dumber because of what she has to do to make the plot happen.
Quippin Podcast, Quippin Lucky, Quippin Aykroyd, Quippin fucking Venkman, Quippin. I'm like chopping and changing names and characters here because I'm like on a whim, but it's just
so bizarre that for Frozen Empire they thought, because I hated at the end of Afterlife when they drove towards New York, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? We're just going back to New York to do it again. And this movie's literally just, have you seen Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
guess what we're going to do again? We're just going to do Ghostbusters in New York. And there's a big disaster, and it's coming from New York, and the Ghostbusters have to stand awkwardly and shake their proton pack. Oh no, it hasn't worked. How will we defeat it? We'll just do a different thing with the proton pack. Oh, we're shaking again. Oh, and they're done. And then the plot is overly complex. The characters are too first bred. It's too much, and none of it is explained or explored. And it feels like they sat in a room, they had a bunch of ideas, and then whoever was in charge said yes to all of the ideas, and they went, okay, but which ones? They went, just do all of it.
Just do everything. Just
cram it all in.
Yeah.
Don't matter if it doesn't like come together or work. Just get it out there.
The final thing I want to talk. So I think I made myself pretty clear. Did not enjoy the film. I genuinely, after the intro and after the first ghost chase scene, was kind of excited, and then it all went to shit. The final thing I do want to talk about, and this is, I think, arguably the biggest problem, genuinely the biggest problem that they have. The ghosts are just so shit now. They're so, like, that fucking river dragon sweaty monster one that was at the beginning, or just a CGI blue fish looking mess that they catch, and it looks shit. The two good ghosts in the whole film, the two ghosts that I was like, they look fucking cool. Slimer, because it's a fucking practical effect that they've put into the movie rather than a CGI one, and the fucking librarian ghost from the first Ghostbusters film, which they've not redone. They've taken the same fucking effect and just put it in this film.
But that was also a moment of just like, that's another big problem you can talk about. It's just the remember berries that is this franchise. But it's that moment where Dan Aykroyd's walking through the library in Frozen Empire, turns and looks, and the librarian's there, and then does the same thing to him again.
Exact same thing.
And that's it. It's not like they didn't do something different. It wasn't this time like she comes up and she like shakes his hands like, oh, it's nice to finally meet you. Like I tried to talk to you like the last time
30 years ago,
and you ran away from it. Like trying to do anything different. They're just like, no, we'll just literally repeat the same thing from the first movie. Do you remember that? Remember when they did that? It's just like, why?
Yeah.
It's infuriating.
But I just don't understand why the ghost is so shitty. The main ghost as well, the main spooky ghost, I liked just a demon.
I liked the design of Garafu or Garashu.
See, I like the design of it, just not in a Ghostbusters. The whole point of Ghostbusters Ghosts is that they've got this like Jim Henson-esque puppet look. They're kind of on the goofy side of things.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, fuck, the main ghost of Ghostbusters is a gigantic Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and a fucking non-binary god, like David Bowie looking
with like demon dogs,
right? But they're all kind of goofy. You know what I mean? This new ghost looks like it should be in an Insidious movie, and I'm just not for it. Or
it should be like an enemy that you fight in Dark Souls
or Doom or something. Yeah, it just doesn't look.
But then the other
Ghostbustery.
The other funny weird thing is where it's like you look at all the ghosts. You've got the big like sea monster, sewer ghost, and then you've got the demon dogs, and then you've got the weird ice monster,
you've got the possessor.
You've got you've got the taxi driver who's like a zombie. It's like you've got all these ones, and all of them look. You've got the librarian. All of them look like awful, like creepy, like gross ghosts.
Yeah.
And then you've just got like nice blonde lady that McKenna Grace is in love. It's just like, and she just looks like. Right? I also loved where it's like
so weird.
When the ghosts are ghosts, they usually look that way because of something that's happened to make them look that way. Her whole story is that she died in a fire.
But she died before her face burnt off, which is why the ghost... Because they say that. That's the exposition they choose to go with. The reason I look okay is because my face hadn't burnt off before I died.
And then she's just like, I'm just like, pretty blonde lady.
What?
That just looks like... it doesn't even look like a good ghost effect. It's just like
terrible.
Oh, I'm just here on set, and then they've just like put like the when fucking Yoda and Obi-Wan come back and like Jedi ghosts. I just look like a Jedi ghost.
Is there any ghosts that look normal in Ghostbusters 1 or 2? I'm trying to think.
I mean, the librarian before she goes all like crazy, kind of looked normal.
But like there wasn't like a human ghost until Egon in Afterlife, right?
Yeah.
So it's just something. They just painted themselves into a corner. They brought Egon back as like a nice little like, look, we miss you, Harold Ramis. Here's a nice little ode to you in our Afterlife movie. And then they were like, well, we did it once. I guess we can have more normal looking ghosts. And there's the crazy gooby ones. There's the crazy gooby Slimers and shit. But also you like when you die. It's a fucking coin toss, man. Me and you, Gav, we're in this room. We both, like, I don't know, a gas leaks in and we both die. There's a possibility that you come out and you're 6 foot tall and you're the lankiest, gangliest, horrible looking fucker.
Horns
and your face is melting off and your eyes are all googly and they're like snail eyes and they're long and you can look round corners and then you're like, oh, I'm dead. And you look across at me sitting here on this couch and I'm just me except blue. And I'm like, yeah, you fucking unlucky, Gav. Unlucky, mate. Gav, you look like shit. What happened?
You look like something that's going to be Monsters, Inc. It's going to go haunt children. I just look like a guy that, like...
And then you're like, what happened to you, man? Because you look normal. Yeah, well, I died before my body and soul got mutated by the ghost juice. So luckily I look normal. So I'm going to go and speak to Hannah. I think you should probably just go to hell and not speak to Nas because
literally.
You will terrify everybody. But unlucky, pal.
It's also the room that they've got, like, the research thing. We've got, like, the possessor thing that can just possess anything.
I've mentioned it a couple of times, but the possessor, such a fucking dumb idea.
Again, it's just a plot device.
Just the thing.
So the plot can move.
And it's like, it's one
There's
of the things...
There's no thought to it.
It's one of the things that you can tell that they had in the writer's room because they were just like, we work in a world where there are ghosts. Yes. What if we just want to have things moving around? Like, what if we need a MacGuffin to move across the city? Ghost could do it. That doesn't feel quite as, like, satisfying. What if the ghost possesses the thing and then runs across the city? That's better.
Done.
Now we can just have anything we want anywhere because the ghost... And because the fucking possessor ghost is so teeny tiny and nobody even gets a bead on it ever until Slimer eats the pizza that it's in. Gav, I think I'm done talking about this film. I hate it so... The more I'm talking about it and the more I'm just like picking it apart, the more my brain is like, I hate it. I hate it so much.
So here's what we're here to do, actually. Now that we've talked about that movie for so long. We weren't going to, but, we just had to. Here's what we're now here to do. We're here to fix the Ghostbusters franchise. Because here's the current problem that we stand at with the Ghostbusters franchise. You have Ghostbusters 1. Great movie. Lightning in a bottle.
Lightning in a bottle.
Clearly unrepeatable or sequelable. Because...
So, yeah.
Because here's what Ghostbusters 2 is. Ghostbusters 2 is just Ghostbusters 1. Here's what the 2016...
I like Ghostbusters 2. However, I like Ghostbusters 2 because I grew up. I know fine well. I watched it as a kid. I loved Ghostbusters 1. I then watched Ghostbusters 2 as a kid and was like, this is great. It's more of the exact same. Which didn't bother me when I was a kid. Watching it as an adult, I'm like, you do rewatch. If you're like me and you're like, oh, Ghostbusters 2 is good. Don't slight it, Gavin Gary. Go watch it now. It's not bad, and especially everything that's come since, it definitely holds up better. But it's nowhere near as good as Ghostbusters 1. It is funny how much it's kind of like, oh, you are just repeating the same shit over and over, and then you've also like. It's weird how quickly the characters flanderize, which I know is like a modern term.
Yeah.
But between Ghostbusters 1 and 2, the characters have like morphed into such caricatures of themselves in what? It was like a 5-year gap between those two films?
Yeah, there was a bit of a gap.
But yeah, like...
Because unsurprisingly, they struggled to figure out the script.
Yeah, like... So it doesn't... It's still... I think it's still enjoyable, and I still think it feels like a Ghostbusters movie. It's just not as...
The benefit that it has is it has the original creative team
Yes.
behind it. It has those 4 actors, it has the director, it has the writers, it has... Like, everyone's there. Harold Ramis is there.
It's also got that iconic seat, like the Statue of Liberty moving at the end. Like,
And I like the villain's like a cool idea, and he's...
Vigo the Vigarian.
Like, he's fucking horrifying, and it's... But...
Got the baby.
It is just...
You get that bit where the guy from Ally McBeal is a witch and he steals the baby. Remember that bit?
God, his accent in that movie is fucking wild.
It's so easy though. What happened to that guy?
I don't know. But
He did that. He did the Mr. Bean movie. Did Ally McBeal. Vanished.
Maybe he's just living off Mr. Bean money. It's like, that's a cash cow.
Him and Mr. Bean, that is genuinely, if I'm having a bad day, the one thing, Gav, that I go back to try and cheer myself up, and usually, without fail, is the scene in Mr. Bean, the movie, after Mr. Bean has wiped off Whistler's mother's face because he sneezes on it. So like the setup is already funny enough, and every time I think about it, I'm like, this is a good. So he sneezes on it, he wipes it off with a rag that's been dipped in fucking turpentine by accident because he's Mr. Bean. Then he draws on that fucking god awful face. Now that face, the image of the image of Whistler's mother with that fucking terrible face kills me every time I think about it. But then it escalates to Mr. Bean sadly looking at it. I'm cracking up thinking about it. Sadly looking at it, and then like that guy walks in and he's like, "What are you doing, Mr. Bean?" And he's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Show me the picture, Mr. Bean." And Mr. Bean turns it, and the guy's reaction is so fucking, oh my gosh! It's so over the top. And it's fucking incredible. And then he's like freaking out. Mr. Bean hides it. And the guy's like, let me see it one more time. Mr. Bean's like, turns it and he freaks out again. Oh, it's the best gag. It's such a good gag.
It's simple as well.
It's so simple. It's just that guy's reaction. That's the whole gag. Like, and it definitely, I think the reason I love it, because it feels like one of those scenes where they were just like, okay, this is the direction. And whoever the fucking, I need to look up this actor's name up. Whoever the actor is was obviously like, I'm going to try and make Rowan Atkinson crack. I'm going to go so
high
huge.
and over the top.
I'm going to go so big that I will get Rowan Atkinson to corpse and break character. And I don't think he does. Maybe it's because I haven't watched it in years, like properly, but maybe this is kind of cut well, but holy fuck. It's amazing. Best scene. That guy deserves an Oscar for that scene.
You look up his name. I'll do the quick rundown.
You do the quick rundown.
Ghostbusters, Lightning in a Bottle. Ghostbusters 2, literally just Ghostbusters 1. Ghostbusters 2016 with Melissa McCarthy, quite literally Ghostbusters 1. Ghostbusters Afterlife is something different until it's then just Ghostbusters 1. Literally Ghostbusters 1 ending again. Then Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is just Ghostbusters 1. The problem we have with the Ghostbusters franchise is they made one movie and then repeated it 4 times. Because clearly, much like the Terminator franchise, no one has any new ideas for this franchise. So, we are going to fix the Ghostbusters franchise. We have fixed many other franchises, and this one, for Hollywood, once again, we will fix.
Did you know that Johnny Galecki and Sandra Oh are in the Bean movie?
Who's Johnny Galecki?
Fucking Big Bang Theory.
Sheldon, that's my drink.
Who does Sandra Oh play in the movie?
Bernie Schimmel. Bernice Schimmel. Burt Reynolds is also in the film, and Peter Capaldi.
I need to rewatch the Mr. Bean.
Right? I'm going to rewatch that scene.
Can we not fix the movie?
I'd like to watch that scene. It's going to cheer me up. Mr. Bean. I'm just going to look at the picture, actually. Whistler's mother picture.
Is that really fucked? God, are you okay?
It's just so funny. It's so funny.
Have a drink of your juice or your water or something. It's just about fucking guilty.
It's so funny. Oh, it's so good. I'm good. I'm crying, but I'm good. All right.
It's like it's a happy cry.
Whoa. What are we talking about?
We're going to fix the Ghostbuster franchise.
Oh, get that guy back in. Just put him in every movie. It's of all the characters that they've not returned on, him.
Right. So,
how do we fix it?
How do we fix it?
I reckon here's what I would do. If you're like, Gary, you're in charge of the Ghostbusters franchise.
How about before you give your fix? I asked my beautiful, intelligent, gorgeous girlfriend who has seen not all of the movies, but some of them. I was like, how would you fix a Ghostbusters franchise? And she took the words right out of my mouth, which was, stop doing it. And then she left to go about her day. Yep. That's all. She just said, stop doing it. That's
you don't fuck around with Nas. Whatever Nas says goes, man.
When she's just like, she's the role maker, you know? When it's just like, when she says, that's it. And when she says, stop doing it, Sony, I think it might be time to stop doing it. Obviously, that's easy number one fix. Yeah. Because clearly, they have no new ideas. Yeah. So stop doing it. But they're probably going to keep doing it because it's a merchandising cash cow.
It is good. It's good for the merch.
So, how are you fixing it?
And also the nostalgia factor, right?
But I feel, is that not done at this point?
Nah, man, nostalgia won't die until we die.
But it, like, when you see Ecto 1 and you see Bill Murray and you see the ghosts from the first, like, none of it means anything.
I agree with all that.
It's quite, even in Afterlife, we're like, hey, we've literally drudged this man out from the grave so we can put him on screen so you can have your Force Awakens moment from Star Wars where you're just like, oh, it's the people that I knew but I'm pretty sure are dead but somehow aren't.
Here's what I would do. Here's how I'm going to fix your Ghostbusters for you. One, stop making movies. I agree with Nas on that, and I agree with you on that. We're done. The movies are done. What Ghostbusters does, however, lend itself to literally perfectly, and it's insane that they haven't done this bar one animated series, Monster of the Week TV show.
Yeah.
It writes itself. They are a ghost hunting super team who, although we've in the film seen them capture 10 ghosts, they tell us through exposition that the ghost containment unit is completely full after 30 years of catching ghosts. Winston Zeddemore and gang have also been capturing ghosts in their own time. So they're clearly busy. There's clearly ghosts to be caught. So just fucking send them off week to week. Have an overarching love story between two fucking characters. You can introduce new characters when your actors fuck off. You can kill someone off. You can Grey's Anatomy that shit. You could have had years and years and years of Ghostbusters the TV show with an overarching soap format. Monster of the Week. I would have fucking watched that. I would have watched the fuck out of that. You could have had, and then the cameos wouldn't have felt quite as brutal because season 5, Venkman turns up to be a fucking guidance counselor or whatever. You know what I mean? Like the old counselor for 5 episodes.
If people want that stuff, you could have Dan Aykroyd there as the go-to, like, exposition-y. Hey, like, we need to know about this Laurie thing.
You give Dan Aykroyd Patton Oswalt's character in this movie.
Sure.
He's the Giles from Buffy.
Yeah.
They're like,
Go
oh
to
man.
him, he opens the big book.
Yeah.
He goes, oh, that's such and such.
This is the Sumerian ghost of Christmas past.
Yeah.
He comes around once every 12 years and he makes somebody see 5 visions over the course. Like, you know what I mean? Christmas episodes.
His
there's
weakness
a
is
million fucking things.
coal burned fire or something, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And the people are, or like, how are we going to get
It's
these
the
things
bigger fire.
to do
What
this
does he
thing?
do? If the ghost gets into something, it makes it big.
Just like, it's just
That's your fucking episode.
do 10 episodes, Amazon Prime, have like a young, trendy cast of people that a bunch of people online who are incelly sad will complain about, but the rest of us regular people will be like, yeah, these are just these are actors that I'd like to see in a thing. And yeah, you can have Dan Aykroyd as like a mainstay throughout the whole show.
Yep.
Ernie Hudson can be the one who funds it if you want to do that.
Have him turn up 3 episodes.
Yeah.
The first episode and then 2 at the end when he's like, I'm shutting this down.
Yeah,
I'm shutting this down.
You've gone
Dan
out of
Aykroyd.
control. Like,
You're out of
like
control.
you're fucking up my business. Blah blah blah. And then you can like,
And then he gets possessed and he's the big bad for the first season.
yeah,
Oh, there's a million
and
things.
Bill Murray can come in and just like slap him to like get a grip of yourself, and that stops him being a ghost. Like 10 episodes of that, you can develop your characters. Get the fuck out of New York for the love of Christ. Go anywhere. Like, do a road trip ghost hunting thing.
There's also, like, if you want to, I'm already thinking about spin-offs. I'm thinking about merchandising this. Sony, fucking hire me. Ghostbusters, like, camp. So you can have a whole fucking spin-off show. Much like The Boys have just fucking done with their Gen V.
Gen V, yeah.
Just a fucking like, hey guys, you're at Ghostbusters camp. We're going to fucking teach you how to be Ghostbusters. Lo and behold, at the end of this 6-part mini series, Camp Ghostbusters is going to be overrun by ghosts, and we're going to need 4 of you plucky teens to help take it down.
And then when it comes to your mainstay episode, one of them crosses over.
Yeah, like there's so much fucking...
It's easy.
These things have been around forever, and you have the perfect format for it.
Now, to play devil's advocate, people will say, when you look at what's become of Star Wars with its shows or what's become of Marvel with their shows, it dilutes it and it takes away from the larger brand in quotation marks. But then what I will also say to me playing devil's advocate, so I'm now arguing with myself, is Ghostbusters has fuck all to it at this point. It has one good movie The second one's passable. Then that's it. So this idea of diluting this brand, there is no brand anymore. The brand is, hey, do you remember this thing? So let's just pump out some 10-episode schlocky show that bring in a new audience, that then make them go back to watch the original. Give them a reason to care about this franchise again that isn't just, hey, look, it's the car that you know. Hey, it's the outfit.
It's also
but a different color.
Here's the thing as well. The one Ghostbuster in the Frozen Empire that's wearing a red jumpsuit and James Acaster wearing a black one, and it's like, I know you're trying to like give the cosplayers something. Why?
Yeah, it's like you just
no
want
one gives a
you
fuck.
want a different colored action figure than just one in a beige.
But like again, because this is one of these things that I'm like, the one bit of the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire that I really did like is the lore that isn't spoon-fed to you when Dan Aykroyd's like, press this button, and then the Ecto C bike pops out. It's like, cool. There's no fanfare to it. There's not really like a remember this, because you can't remember it because it's never been fucking seen before. But I just love that there is an Ecto bike, which means that there has been stories attached to that. I'd rather see those. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Because the other thing is, another change that needs to happen is this franchise needs to leave New York, and it needs to leave these 4 characters from the original movie.
Yeah, that's why I said Camp Ghostbusters.
Yeah, so I want an original.
It's set in Alaska, the
that's
North
it.
Pole.
The annoying
It's
thing
freezing
about
cold,
Afterlife was so close to it.
and there are dinosaurs in it.
Fucking dinosaurs. Why are there dinosaurs?
Well, they need something new. Ghost
dinosaurs.
There's only so many ghosts.
A ghost mammoth. There you go.
Put the Ghostbusters on a fucking pirate ship, on a ghost pirate ship.
Yeah, fucking people love ghost pirates. Fucking get them out.
You don't get enough ghost pirates.
Get them out into, like, when we're in Scooby-Doo and they're fighting fucking ghost pirates. Great stuff. The first Pirates of the Caribbean. Great. Get them away from New York. Get them out somewhere different. Afterlife almost had it when they're like, hey, we're out in sticks. We're in this small little town. But then it's just, but the Ecto one's here, the proton packs are here, and all the characters from New York are fucking here. Like, no, and the villain from fucking New York. It's like, you were so fucking close to something good. Get away from Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd and all of that.
Again, the TV format would suit it perfectly well.
You can plug them in if you want to.
Do you know what I mean? Your opening, so you have 5 episodes of them running around New York catching ghosts, or like maybe slightly out there, and then beginning of episode 6, and you have like one of them walking into the fucking like a rundown boat, like clearly on a cruise ship, and they're like, I hate the water. There's your opener right there. You know what I mean? Just like 3 of them fucking chatting, shooting shit, talking about getting seasick and stuff.
And over the course of the show,
they're on a cruise ship.
They learn how to be better ghost hunters.
Yeah, of course, mate. So that was my idea 1. That's idea. My second idea, which is my go-to idea for every fucking series that needs fixed. Just recast it. Recast it. Set it for like do it. Do the proper reboot, and don't do the reboot like the reboot, which is but do you remember all this stuff? It's a reboot, but it's a soft reboot. Just fucking brand new. I said it about Indiana Jones. Fucking do a James Bond with it. Give me 5 more films, but different directors, wildly different styles, wildly different cast.
Go somewhere different. Do something different.
It's the copyright problem, because if Sony, Disney, Warner Brothers, all of them, if you could buy the Ghostbusters copyright for £100, right? If you could license the Ghostbusters name for £100, any fucking schmuck could make a Ghostbusters movie. Now, I appreciate that Sony are like, but we don't want that. And it's like, but you can still release your Sony branded one. You can still release, you'd be like, we're selling the Ghostbusters license. Anyone can make a Ghostbusters film. You have to put this fucking one screen at the beginning, which makes it clear it's a fan project, but go nuts, right? The cream will rise to the top. It's
just them shooting dicks with proton packs constantly, just dicks getting shot.
Sony's like official canon line will either fucking sink or swim, but whatever. I wouldn't give a fuck, because I'd be like, yeah, the Sony movies suck ass, but this one production house has been making like top tier Ghostbusters content. Fucking go for it.
Let's give them their shot.
Yeah, give them and then Sony could be like, right, look, now that you're making big money off of this, we're gonna now hire you, bring you in, blah blah blah, blah, whatever. I don't fucking know. But yeah, it's a copyright thing.
My 2 ideas, and again, for context, this means we're away from New York, none of the old characters, no references. I don't want to see any fucking Ectos. I want a brand new thing of its own that's still Ghostbusters, because just do something new. Idea 1, I want a Luigi's Mansion style Ghostbusters movie where they go to a big haunted mansion, they get real fucked up. They're whatever, if they have a proton pack or whatever it is going to be in this thing, that gets damaged. They then have to figure out as a team how to survive in this ghost mansion with the skills that they have about them, and just do a little 90-minute. Don't make it family friendly. Make it like a actual maybe horror movie with ghosts creeping about. There, done. Bloomhouse, get them to fucking fire it out. Just do something, because then that movie will do gangbusters.
But then that's not a Ghostbusters film.
No, but make it the Ghostbusters. They are ghosts, but you know you've got those like found footage, like Ghostbuster stuff.
Like, I'm with you, but I don't disagree.
Also keep some of the things you need to make it clearly it's a Ghostbusters movie, like the proton pack.
What makes a Ghostbusters film a Ghostbusters film? What would you... Because it's all fine and well you being like, make it a horror movie, make it spooky as fuck, make the Ghostbusters get fucking mutilated. That's not a Ghostbusters film anymore. Here's what we never do in these fucking things. We just shout at each other about what we think is right. What would you say are let's say 5 tenets of a Ghostbusters movie? What makes a Ghostbusters film a Ghostbusters film? I would say you've got a group of people.
Let's say 4 to 5 characters.
4 to 5 characters.
With like defined skills and personalities.
I would say it needs to be family friendly.
Okay, but not like the current Sony like
It doesn't need to be
Sheen family friendly.
Yeah, sanded edges, but it still needs to be a family.
Okay, let's go more in tone of the first one, which is like it's a bit racy and like the jokes are about like what we're doing here, and it's like they are scumbags at the end of the day who are like setting out some of them.
No, Venkman's a scumbag.
Yeah, but it's like there's scumbaggery involved to just be like, let's get a bunch of money at people so we can do this ghost thing. Also, like got to remortgage the house, like. Just have that kind of edgier tone. I hate the word edgy, but have that like more rough tone to it than just like, we're family and we're going to go save the world. It's just like, fuck off with that.
Group of people, edgier, rougher tone.
Have your proton packs and your suits if you want.
I would say like the iconography needs to be in there.
Like, yeah, they look like Ghostbusters. I don't need it to be an old hair sort ambulance made out to look like that. If you want to have an Ecto one, sure, but fucking make it this like Scooby Doo van or something.
So iconography, whatever that might be, they need to look like Ghostbusters. I'm fine with them. I'm fine with the revamping of that. I would say another tenet of a Ghostbusters film is probably
the practically looking ghosts.
I would say so. I'd say practical looking effects, right?
Like the 2016 when it was all just CGI yuck.
Yeah,
like get that out. Get your classic looking like clearly physically there in the room ghosts that have then had some digital effects added over it.
And then
the song.
Number 5. See, number 5, I was going to say the kind of like tongue-in-cheek or like the kind of goofiness of the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, just keep that kind of roughy tone. Like, have a bit of fun, but also put it kind of more horror movie-esque, trapped in a mansion, like trying to solve an issue that isn't the end of the world. It's like
the end of the world stuff is very boring as well.
I'm sick of every movie being the end of the world because I kind of want the world to end.
Do you know why that is though? That's because it's the Dragon Ball Z. I know I speak about this all the fucking time. It's the Dragon Ball Z problem. So Ghostbusters 1 is Goes of the Gozerian, end of the world.
Yeah.
They're literally talking to a god, and if they hadn't crossed the streams, negating particle fucking elements, whatever, then the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man would have ended the planet, right? You can't go down from there. Like, you can only go up.
Yeah.
Which means up has to at least be a god.
And the end of the world.
And it has to at least be the end of the world, like the entire world on stakes.
Because I guess to be fair to the first Ghostbusters, it's a case of like, they just punted that out and thought, this will be a bit of a laugh. They didn't think it was going to be a cultural stepping stone for the rest of time.
Which is why I think a TV show is a better show. I think a TV show, Monster of the Week, fuck you, like you could have your more horror themed version of it. You know what I mean? Like, that's how we'd fix Ghostbusters. If you want to let us know how you would fix Ghostbusters, then come tell us. You can either you can make a video on TikTok, tag us in it. We will watch it if we're tagged, and we'll maybe drop a little comment. I would love to know what your thoughts are on TikTok. If you're not a TikToker, we are active on Threads now.
Yeah.
What's the Threads handle?
It's just Meandering Movie Podcast.
Is it at? I don't know how Threads work.
You just go in and type in Meandering Movie Podcast.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Meandering Movie Podcast on Threads. And we're also on Facebook and email and all the usual shit.
Instagram.
But we are most active on TikTok and Threads.
Yeah.
So if you want our attention, there's your ins. I've been Quizmaster Gary. I've been Gary Copeland Boyd.
Didn't even do names. I am the seagull who shits on your shoulder at the end of the day when you're just about to go home from work. Gavin Stewart.
And we'll be back with another episode very soon. I am still not a father, just so you know. By the time this comes out, actually, at the time of recording, no baby. By the time you're listening to this, dear listener, I will have a baby. I'll put a picture up. Maybe.
Of just me.
Just a gap. But thank you so much for listening. As always, guys, I want to hear from you. Genuinely want to hear your thoughts. So please get in touch. And we'll speak to you next month.
Bye.
Bye. And music is alive.
It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. It's meandering movies. So